Okay, guys. I want to go ahead and just start out a little bit here, and a little early. We'll just get people to join, and I just wanted to fit in another live stream for people that, especially, I did it later in the days, just in case West Coast folks can call in, so it's not too early. So that's kind of why it's more in the afternoon. I'm not sure how many people we'll get, but if you want to watch it later, you'll be able to do that. And maybe you'll get your question answered. I'll just kind of recap where things are right now. The market, is starting to break out. S&P taking out this peak on January 24th. Again, open this up for more upside. Clearly, the market wants to grind higher. We don't want to try to guess the top. We're not trying to guess the top. We just take the trades as they come, and if they don't come, we don't chase. So today was an interesting. Yesterday was interesting trading session because you had some stocks really exploding higher, and others, were kind of like a collapsed, like Serve collapsed, and Soundhound collapsed, right? And then you had others not. And Soundhound is a great, and Serve is a great example on money management. It's a hard lesson that maybe someone following me or out there in the world learned yesterday. Just to kind of give you a perspective on those small cap, high beta type plays, the meme stocks. I'm only putting in when I play those like 1% of my total capital in that trade, risking with a defined stop loss. That's all I'm putting in. That's all I put in. So when a soundhound moment happens, you're like, okay, whatever. It's not a big deal. Now, if you put like 25, 30, 50% of your trading capital in one of those, you're taking way too much risk because there's always going to be I call it black swan event risk to go to zero risk. Every stock could just wake, you don't know. What if it's a fraud and you just wake up one day and the stock you love and cherish just goes to zero overnight? You lose everything. It doesn't matter, as the people with Enron, as the people with WorldCom, as the people with, the smaller, companies too. So you got to have a well diversified portfolio. You got to spread your bets around, and the ones that are working, you let them ride, and the ones that really aren't working, you dump them. And then, of course, you have your stop losses. But if you're trying to put like all your trading capital in meme stock type pump stocks, you're taking way too much risk. And I think Soundhound and Serve is a great example, a lesson in money management and risk management that maybe traders had a painful lesson yesterday. And it's just the way it goes. The way it goes. Like I was, I don't share all my personal trades, but I was in Soundhound and I lost. No big deal. But 1% of my total trading capital, no big deal. But then I'm in other things, Tesla, other stuff that ran, DNA, all that. So we still won. I still won at the end of the week in the end because of money management, not because of guessing the wrong or right things. So what I'm trying to tell everybody out there that eventually listens to this, because it's important you hear that, is again, knowing how to trade is important as what to trade. And if you put all your chips in two or three, stocks, you're not doing it right. You gotta spread your bets around, have different sectors, have a mining and energy and industrial, have some tech, have some meme beta stuff, have some crypto, have a little bit of a variety of things. So if you get a black swan news event situation, it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. Okay. So I just want to talk about that a little bit. I appreciate people signing in now. Thanks. I like my members signing in, and I definitely will just continue to recap the market. And as I go through it, if any super chat comes in, of course, I'll just jump right to it. And I can't tell based on my screen. I'm looking at my screen. I can't tell what's old or new super chats the way my streaming software is. I don't know if this one, Ryan and Anonymous, is this new or is this from a prior live stream. So can you just put in the chat if those were those you just put those in? Just put those in, and if you did, I'll go to them before I start rambling on the market and what I think's going on. So if you're out there, anonymous Ryan, and just let me know, and then I'll come back. It's a new one. Okay, good. All right, I just want to make sure because this streaming software doesn't clear my chats from the previous, so it's hard for me to like figure it out. Okay, thanks guys. So anonymous, thanks again for the super chat and thanks for being an elite member. Hey, I just want to say my elite members, guys. I calculated, and it's only 1 week, but our profit factor on our trading system was 6-to-1 last week. 6-to-1. A profitable system is 2-to-1. So we were 6-to-1, 6-to-1. And what does that mean exactly if you're not familiar with the profit factor? Profit factor, and let me define that for you. I'm going to look it up real quick, give you the official definition. The official definition. The profit factor is the ratio of total gross profit to the total gross loss of a trading system over a given period of time. It measures how much money the system makes for every dollar it loses. So we made 6-to-1. Made 6-to-1. So our system maximizes profit and it really minimizes losses. And that's just 1 week. Now, again, past performance isn't a predictor of future results. I'll say the disclaimer. But that's a great start. Also, elite members, if you look at our, hold on 1 second, sorry about that, go back here. Our elite members also, I'll get it, sorry, there we go. There's our trade screen. Yeah, so our elite members, we not only have 6-to-1, we actually netted a 41% ROI, 42% if I remember, is just over 40% ROI. That means if you took every trade I posted for all my members, elite, pro and basic, and elites get all of it, and you just put $1 in every single one, and then you close the trade on close on Friday, some were loss, some were gain, you would have made 42%. You would have had a 42% gain if you spread your money out. And now there were over like 70 trades identified, so I mean, no one's going to practically do that. And also $1 is relative to the cost basis of what you're purchasing. So, but it gives you an idea. I'm just trying to give you an idea. But so the trading system was very successful for the kickoff, way beyond my dream. I was so happy we got some really good trades in. It may not be like that every week. We had a lot of trades we could go into only because the market gave us those opportunities. But as if the market goes into this wave 3, we're going to lose a lot of opportunities, and we're going to have to wait for the bigger pullback. And so the trade journals that I have is going to dry up a little bit, but that's okay. But back here, we really launched our service with a lot of opportunities. Okay, now let's jump into anonymous Cisco, let's take a look at our stock Cisco here. Cisco here. All right. Cisco here. Let's see here. 1080p maxes. I'll look into that, guys. To me, it's just yeah. I don't. There's no. I have a really powerful setup, so I can easily. I could do the 1080p stuff. I just need to go. I think just click the button and do it. So I'll go in and make sure I do that. Try to do that next time. Okay, guys. Yeah, if that's better for you guys to kind of see what's going on. So let's go to Cisco real quick. Okay, that's a real nasty candle right there. Well, let's just check out our chart again. We want to look at this chart, and this is kind of very kind of unorthodox chart. You got this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. Let me try to move this a little bit better there. So you have, and again, I don't have the degrees signified, but you could see the 3, 4, 5. 4, 5, 1, big 2, find support at 32, and we're mooning. So long-term investors, what should you do? Long-term investors, hopefully you've already bought it somewhere down here, and you're just going to have to hold through it to catch this. It looks like it may be eventual cup handle out. Now, what if it doesn't do that? What if it just keeps going? the way this market is, it can do that and erase divergence. So that's why we don't want to top tick. So when you say, when do I want to sell it? It depends on where your entry is, and how you want to in your trade in goals. If you're a long-term investor and your entry in cost basis is somewhere down here, you don't sell it. You don't sell it at all. You hold it. Now, if you entered and got a scalp here, well, yeah, I mean, you're going to have a bigger pullback, this pullback, and it's probably already starting here. I mean, we can't be for sure. Let's go to the 4-hour. So that's kind of your wave 3 of 3 area. There's your 5. There's your 5. There's your 3. Now see, you've got a little bit of bearish divergence here, but you're almost ready to take it out. So could we extend more in 5? It's possible. This looks like, could be 1, 2. Yeah, maybe this is how I label it. Like an ABC. And then some kind of ABC. Maybe something like that. And then a pullback, ideally to 56. That's what I'm thinking. I don't know if this is the top, as we're about to take out divergence here, which is kind of a wave 3 situation. Again, if you take this out and take out this peak, then we're going to have to go to a more classical label where it's like a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 3, 4, 5. You'll have to go to something like this. So it's either so it could be that or what I showed you before. And there's just no way to know exactly where the top is, because you see, if it turns into this, look at this wave, it's shorter, and so maybe we're even going to start to erase this divergence here, and then you're going to get an extension. See what I'm saying? That's why you can't. You have to understand your trading goals to know when you want to sell it, where your entry is. It's hard for me to just say sell it. I personally don't think selling is the right call given this setup right now. But you can do what's best for you. I think you should hold this and let this play out and just see what happens. I think that's the situation that I see the most. The only other really bearish option that I could contemplate is if this is maybe it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we pull back and then out. But you just don't have a good way to know that. So I think right now, you'll have to decide like where your entry is, and you have to decide that and decide. I don't recommend selling this right now. I don't recommend selling it. Let's look at some other stochastics. Whoops. Daily is wide open. Probably going to take this out. May take that out. But you are peaking. You see, you are going to get set up a 5 at some point with divergence. Now look at this. Now what's going to happen when that 4 comes, you're going to get a pullback, and then you're going to get this 5, and then you're going to get a peak, and then you're going to get bearish divergence that way. And then you're going to pass. That's where I'll be more worried about selling Cisco, when I see this setup. But I don't see that. So That's why the market's bullish, right? That's why the market's bullish. That's why the SPY keeps going up and the triple Qs keep going up, because these things just aren't selling off. They're just not selling off. They're just extending. So that's why we were aggressive in our trading system to buy everything, right? It looked like, oh man, Elliott Wave Sage, if you haven't been following me before and you're just like joined and like wanna, wow, he's a crazy bull. He just buys everything. He just buy everything. It's because of where we are in the cycle right now and what's moving. It's all the other, all the shit stocks are moving, all that stuff's moving. So we have a lot of buys, but it's not always like that. I just want to say it's not always like that. Sometimes there's nothing to buy, right? And then eventually it's things to sell. But I think right now, this is not a market that I really want to try to top tick. Okay, Intel. I did see that one. I did see that one, and so yeah, what's going on here? Oh no, what's going on here? Well, let's just take a step back and study a couple things. Let's study a couple things here. So if we look, and again, I'm going to try to clean this chart up a little bit without destroying everything. Okay, so here we have the peak, right? The peak here. And we're pulling back. And we're pulling back. And we have 3 and a connector, and we're coming down. We broke the low. It opens up to more downside. Now, could it have truncated here? Can it be doing the ultimate, nasty like ABC connector where it goes like up, down, up, and then like that, something like that? Are we going to see that? Well, that's the only other option left if we start to move any further than that, because we didn't break this low here with that so this is the destroy bulls and bears situation. Bigger picture. And again, I don't know why TradingView messes us up here. I don't know why TradingView messes us up here. Let's see here. Let me try to zoom the screen in. Hold on one second, guys. I'm going to try to zoom this screen in so you guys can see it better. Hold on. Let's see if I can zoom this thing. Again, I'm just playing around here. Hopefully, that's a little better for people. We'll try that for now. Okay, so anyway. Okay, yeah, I'll get Ryan too. We'll get to all of them. Intel. Down here again. We have this 1-2 setup now. It could always go to 0, but eventually it will. Intel will figure it out, like GE, right? General Electric finally figured it out. So it's going to figure things out soon enough. Now, you see the weekly, it almost erased divergence there, so you could talk yourself out. Maybe it's finished and truncate it. Let's look at the monthly. You see you got that, but look how oversold it is. And the weekly's grinding higher. So I think we're gonna change our outlook on this one a little bit. We're gonna give kind of like a hybrid option. We're gonna do something like this. Right, we're still gonna have these other boxes here, But I think we're in this a connector here. And as long as we're below the downtrend line, I believe we could still be in this B. So I think we're in B, and I think it's in a counter trend play in this B off of this low. So you'll have to, like I said, you'll have to decide how you want to play with this. 3 A, B. You know what's interesting here? There's 5 down here. There's 5 down there. So maybe again, this is this is why I don't have this on my my list, right? If you're elite members, we don't have this on our list because it there's no trade here. But I think it could do something like this. It could do something like that. We're getting A, B, C. Whipsaw you around. It could do something just like that. And put that there. So it could easily do that. Whipsaw you around in a circle. Or it can, I don't think this would work. So it's either going to do that or it's finished this. And then it is about to rug pull and finish the correction. In as long as it's below 25.42, which is my original chart. It's about to do boom, 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 and then it's over. So I think it's those two scenarios. I would say that those are the two, and then there's even this scenario, like I showed before, where you get this A, but maybe B is really erratic. Right, B is really erratic and comes up even higher and then comes down, right? It does. It could even be that. See, are you going to survive that? No one can trade that. No one can trade that. So good luck. That's what I think about Intel. To me, it's just. To me, it's just 4 letters that mean nothing to me. But if I click on the chart and we're down here, then it means a lot to me. It means a lot, and it will show up. It will show up on our list to start to look at and take much more seriously. Okay, good luck on that. Yeah, Bitcoin again is in a tough position, but there's some clues that we look at that help us understand where we're going. I think, so before I go into the Bitcoin chart, you go into crypto, you have a stock like Mara, breaking this pivot. This opens Mara up for more downside. Could Bitcoin moon and Mara finish a correction? Probably not. Coinbase had great earnings, but it sold off. No surprise to our members and followers. Boom. So again, I don't think, again, Coinbase has a lower low. BitX is another leverage thing that we track, and it broke a low here, and it's wants a 3, like it wants to finish this wave 3 down in this final push. 1, 2, 3. These are telling me that Bitcoin, no matter whatever it wants to do, is under pressure, guys. It's under pressure. But it's gonna be great in the future. So you gotta understand. I think this is probably your last out. If this happens, if this dump happens in Bitcoin, it's probably your last chance to get long. And I'm surprised the market really is going to give us another opportunity like this. But maybe, but I think there's a lot of people that believe deep down in their bones, in their core, that the cycle is over at Bitcoin. Like the cycle from these lows, and we're going all the way back to 20,000. I think people believe that. They believe it so You know, so seriously, so that's maybe we will dump and come down here. You know, to see if the bulls can pull it out. But my Bitcoin count is still very bullish. Very different than most traders, and I'm okay. Again, this may be proven to be a 4 and a 5. Fine, we'll just buy it here, and we'll be okay, and we'll buy more here. Again, it's obviously the direction's higher. I mean, guys, we took out 100,000 Bitcoin. If you traded Bitcoin when it was $1,000 or less, like I have, this is unthinkable targets. So what's unthinkable targets for you right now? 1 million, 2 million, 3, 4 million? What if in 10 years it's at 4 million a Bitcoin? We'll be looking like idiots for not buying it here. We'll look like morons. So we have to recommend buying it. We can't worry about whatever these numbers say. It's just a bullish instrument a fiat currency that inflates every day, loses value. Is less and so it's the perfect like mathematical setup to continue higher, and it's limited supply, so it's just like it just keeps going higher. So you know the divergence is here. Let's check them out and see if that tells us anything different. So you see how this is finished here. We boom, and we took out all those peaks, but the wick is higher. That usually means we'll get follow through on the price to the downside. The price will eventually follow that. That's usually what that means. Now the other thing, also we could look at is some kind of triangle, but triangles are in 4, not in 2, and I don't think it's a triangle. I don't think it's a triangle. If we look here. Again, one big cycle, another cycle, and the daily is trying to work its way out. So there's your bear market, this little bear market. So when does the bear market run out of time? March 2nd. So February is probably it. Once the end of February comes, I think that's the end. No, and maybe no matter where the price of Bitcoin is, maybe these other stocks will dump and Bitcoin will hold its ground. If Bitcoin holds its ground, then this is 2 right there. Okay, that's 2. So, it's just not worth trying to guess that right now. And the weekly RSI is almost oversold. The weekly cycle is almost done. You got the weekly cycle. Okay, now how's the monthly looking? More than likely, once the next weekly cycle comes in, we will take out divergence, and that's what will open the 3 of 3. And then all the Elliott wave people will be like, F, I got to mess my count up. It is a 1, 2, 1, 2. It's not a 3, 4, 5. And that's why Elliott waves is hard to trade, because if you try to just trade the Elliott waves, you always call wave 5, and then you try to get smart, and then you're like, but you can't. I think this is the count. And that's all I can say on Bitcoin. You want to really speculate, I would definitely long, stop at 91, stop out, rebuy it down here. Long 91, you get lucky, it's 2, and you're like a genius. Okay? That's kind of where we are with Bitcoin, guys. And watch my crypto video on alt season. Watch that. It's important. You really need to see it. No one cares about that video right now because sentiment is in the shitter, right? No one cares. But I bet when we're over here, I'll have thousands of views on that video. People will be like, oh, like that's what's going to happen, guys. That's what's going to happen. This reminds me of these early cycles in crypto. I mean, this is a classic, like, people are too bearish in crypto right now, sentiment-wise. But they really shouldn't be. But if we get this flush, which I wouldn't be surprised, and we need dry powder ready. You have to have dry powder ready to buy some crypto in this area. Then you should be good to go. Okay, G-Sol, again, is probably bleed in premium. I don't like any of the Grayscale products because they're converting to ETFs, which could really screw up your entry. If you can't if you need to buy those, just understand the premium on those and what you're buying, the premium. And if you don't know what that means, you shouldn't buy them. All right, GSOL, how's it doing? I haven't really paid attention to it. Looks like we got this kind of double bottom. You know exactly. So we're going to play this ABC. I think this is the play, and it could still drop down here. And oh my God, that's $10. That's a 50% haircut. I think what you need to really look at in this product now is when is it a 1-to-1 premium or just under premium. You know, GSOL at 20 is not Solana at 200. It's probably like Solana at 140 or something like that. But you got to check my math out. These products are probably bleeding premium. But I still think you'll get this C wave on it. Okay, good luck on that. The next one, Ryan Gurr. Yeah, I'm like, what the hell is Gurr? I'm on StockTwits and I saw Gurr. And I'm like, what the hell is that stock? I mean, it's another AI consultant company or something. So it got my attention. You know, I watch StockTwits and maybe see there's something new to trade. So I was checking it out. Probably want to put the one there. Again, I hadn't labeled. I had just playing around with this myself. You see, this isn't a big enough break to say it's a new cycle to me. You see, we're just crossing over on the daily. The weekly. Let's look at the weekly. So there we go. It looks like to me you've got that. Probably one more high, I'm thinking. But I'm not brave enough to try to play that because of this you know, it's probably that. And then so if you're so this is like very risky. I won't recommend this or put this on our list that we monitor. But that's the entry. That's the next area. If you want to try to play a little pump on that, it would be $21.40, $20, and you're trying to play this wave 5. And then if you win, you know, get lucky, it's another 1-2, and it just keeps going vertical. So that's what you're trying to do here. That's what you're hoping for. Now, if we push higher, then the box goes, you know, so you're looking for another swing down, and you're hoping that you get a 4 and you get this last bit. You're getting this last bit higher. You see what I'm saying? That's what you're hoping for in GUR. All right, LPCN, LPSN, live person. All right, we have this box. We're in some kind of 4-wave. Hopefully trying to come out of this, but it's starting to look a little too extended to be a 4. But when let's see, 4-hour, you have 3 up, but the cycle is now broke. So it's more than likely a corrective move. So we have a corrective move. So I don't recommend buying it. And then this is a 3. Now it could be a higher degree. It could be this. It could be that. Very well could be this. But it also could be this. The flat. Now the flat is, you know, the real nasty pattern. It does that. Ultimately wants to hold that low. So, you know, let's see if there's any other clues that help us. I think you got to be careful of a flat, but you'll have to decide. But I think there's more downside, one way or the other. I think there's more downside here. So it's either a flat or it's this more bearish, more bullish, you know, kind of leading diagonal. And we could kind of tweak, you know, see, but it's 5 waves out. You would need 3, so you'd have to put the 1 there, A, B, C, but you really only have 3. So I would go with the flat. But it doesn't mean it's going to happen. And it doesn't mean to short it. I'm just showing you the idea, and then you come out of it. But you should come out of it because you got 5 off that low. Whatever happens here. Now this, we could still be in 2. Here you have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have almost looks like 5 here, so the 2 would be here. But you know, I'll label it, but don't be careful. It could whipsaw around before you get that final push lower. That's what I would be looking for. Good luck on that live stream. All right. Let's just kind of scan through my comments. Yeah, I can't get attached to the Intel name. I want to get, yeah, it would be a great opportunity. Oh, the India ETF, Albert. Ah, yeah, I got my eye on that one. I got my eye on that India ETF. It's close. It's close. It's close. And any way to play crypto in 401? Not sure what you mean by that. Again, I'll get to the super chats. Newegg is just kind of waiting to do its thing. Okay, let's go to the next super chat here. I'll go to my members first, and then go to everybody else. So let's see what we got here. I don't want to skip over Anonymous. Can you help? Yeah, I'll try to do the 1080p. Yep, got that. Thanks for the little super chat. So stands out. Anonymous again. Best play for alt season. There's just too many coins to know that right now. Because that's the problem with alt season. It's like you don't know which ones, what's the theme. Right now the theme is like kind of like almost like this shitcoin theme, right? Where people create their own coins and they pump. Is that going to be the theme of alt season? You know, the Trump coin type, you know, is every celebrity going to create their coin and we're all going to chase it? Is that the alt season we're looking for? I don't, you know, I don't know. It's hard to say. But what you want to look for is all coins making blue skies, all-time highs, no overhead supply. The ones that have a lot of overhead supply are not the ones most likely that are going to do anything. So which ones, you know, broke the all-time high? I think Solana just did, but it pulled back, but it did. So if we can break out there and get blue skies on Solana, that should just go crazy. Blue skies is what you're looking for in your altcoins. So find the altcoins that are close to making all-time highs or making all-time highs that have blue skies. Those are the ones you want to be in. The ones that are far from that, they probably, yeah, they may gain, but they're probably got too much overhead supply to really push out unless they get some kind of news behind it to drive it. Dogecoin is, to me, like, I think it could break the all-time high, and if it does, it could run pretty well, and it's got the Musk theme behind it. Maybe Musk will surprise people and use it in some way as he's setting up government stuff. That would be the big pump, right? So maybe that's the play on Dogecoin if you believe in that. Okay, let's see. Donald, and then I will get to all the super chats. Tesla. Tesla was a great pick for our followers, guys. We really got that one, nailed that one. I mean, for the first week, I'm just so happy to be able to help people on that. And everyone should have a lot of profit already in it that subscribed to Pro or Elite. And now you have to decide if you want to take your profit or how you want to play it long term hold. Let me see if I can find it. I don't know where it went to here on my list. Yeah, must have dropped off here for some reason. All right, so let's just put that back on there. So yeah, so Tesla could be moving into a 3 moment on the grand super cycle, which is the most bullish possibility, but nothing's for sure. So we did have this pullback. We warned people not to buy it here. Some people, I think, that followed me did short it. Then we pulled back. We warned not to get caught up in that. And then we had the buy entry, and we literally got filled. I know, like, we really got filled right where I had it on our list. I think we listed it at 325, like 30 or something, and we filled almost to the penny. I mean, it was an amazing entry. So now if you're in that trade, you want to put your stop there. You don't want to have your stop down here anymore. So your stop loss is now here. So you essentially have zero risk entry. So there's no reason to sell it. You're with house's money. Now we're pulling back off the first wave, and Tesla could give people a second chance to get in. It's probably not likely to do that, but if it does want to take another dip down to 342, 338, it does set up a second chance entry right here that people could decide to take if they're interested in that. So that would set you up for some kind of three-wave correction. I got this impulse, and then we swing up, and then the real test comes here. The real test will be up here around 380 because then we'll have either a really nice connector for this move, and this would don't believe me, if we get rejected here, it will be a wipeout. So like this may be a smart place to take some money off the table. But if we could break through that, then I believe it's off to the races. So where Tesla goes from here is I think with our 5-wave move off the low, we should swing up. I'm looking for 380. And then the market's got a big decision on Tesla. Either Tesla will have to double correct, and man, this would be a nasty double correction. It would have to be something, it would be like that, coming back to these lower 200 areas. Or it's finished this wave 2, and it's off to the races, all-time highs. And then that's blue skies. We're in the blue sky territory. So that's Tesla. I don't like to sell it as long as it's above 325. Stay above 325, it's good, but you definitely don't want to break 325. All right, Lockheed Martin, LMT. How's that one doing? Not good. We're stuck in this 4th wave, looking for a 5. I prefer another defense player. I think I've posted that before on Twitter. Raytheon is one, but you guys can play which ones you want to. So this was pretty bullish here. Again, apologize for trade in view. I don't know, it always skews my charts up, but you can kind of get the idea where I think we are with it. Should be finishing this for any moment for a 5th wave, or potentially, or perhaps it's another 1-2. It's possible. It's possible. It could be another 1-2 maybe. And I don't know. I'll just leave it at the 4 now. So that looks like the connector. And it is. Let me see the wave it's paired up against. This one. So that one was pretty short. But that's the March crash. You see that was the March crash. So this would be a significant decline. But you don't want to see it go much lower than here. It's a race. So it's trying to race divergence. I think it goes a little lower. It goes a little lower, but I don't want to. So this is kind of the classic way I project my target. That would be 359. I almost think that's too low because then you're starting to overlap. You're overlapping the wave, you know, and that means it wouldn't. It would be a 1-2. So change the count. You change this count up. I'd have to go back and kind of. It may be at this 3, but I would say this. The ideal entry, don't worry about the count, is right here. Ideal. I think it will truncate but go a little bit lower to erase this divergence on the daily. This. So I think it's got a little more downside to go down. And looks like a 3-wave move. You know, if you look, you see how this moved down, big bounce, moved down. So you didn't really have that big bounce. So either that's a real shallow connector wave. That's a very shallow connector wave. That would be like to finish it. But you also have to be careful that it doesn't turn into that either. You know. So you got a couple possibilities. You know, I don't know if I could really get a good setup, but I do think it's got another swing higher. At some point in the future, this high should get taken out again, and then we'll see what happens. But you can decide what you want to do with it. It looks like there's a nice big trend line here, somewhere around there. Maybe that's where we tag 387. All right, good luck on that. Screaming. Spotify, yeah, keeps pumping, right? Spotify's pumping. And Spotify was one, you know, that, let me find it here. We had this identified, but before I launched my service. So unfortunately, you know, no one really benefited from it, but the few people I may have mentioned this to or watched one of my videos was 440, and now we haven't looked back. This obviously is a race divergence. So this ended up being, so this is an example of why you want to buy a wave 4, because this wave 4 turned into a wave 3 and an extension. So so it just continues to moon, and it's obviously by the dip. And that's why we don't want to just try to top tick this market, because you could get this kind of reaction, right? You know, looks like it's finishing the cycle up here. Again, such a tight impulse. You know, massive FOMO happening in it. Investors throwing all caution to the wind. Just can't help themselves. Pure greed right here. Just pure greed and FOMO. So let's look for a dip buy. Right there. What if we can fail? 611, 604, 594. I don't personally want to take it after a pump like this, but you guys can decide what you want to do with that. But that's what I'm looking at, something like that. Okay, if it plays out, but it could easily go deeper. This wave 4 when it finishes could go deeper, so just be careful with that. All right, Donald. CoinL, so Coinbase should be going lower, so that means CoinL will go lower, right? But it will set up hopefully a good opportunity in the low 200s soon, if this is the count. So we're kind of running out of time here. It's got to make its move soon. It's got to make its move, probably next week. It's kind of like coming to the end of the line to get this move. If we break out of this trend line, if we break out of this, it's then the bottom's in, and then you just have to go with it. So let's look at the CONL and see if that tells us anything different. So remember, we got stuck in here in this ABC, and we said it, very interesting situation. See, this is why crypto's just giving us all these mixed signals. Because if you look, well, that would be 3605. There. I mean, wouldn't it be crazy? There's no way mathematically this could keep the high and Coinbase take the low out. I don't think it can do that mathematically. So if you really want to speculate, you could buy it here and have a tight stop at 32, or you just time your buy, no matter what this chart says, with the Coinbase at the low 200s down here. So it almost looks like the same chart. So we have to go with this for now. And again, we're looking for the trend line. So that's what we're looking at. 27, 20 buck, 20 this area right here. That's what we're looking for. That's the ideal opportunity. And of course, you need to, boom, take out all that divergence. Boom, all that divergence. That's what has to happen. You do those things, and you're here, off that low, then you got a good setup in this leveraged fund potentially, if you want to play it. Obviously it's counter trend. Look at all the overlapping waves. Overlapping waves tell us, the trend is the other direction, not down. Right? The trend is probably higher. This is like going against the grain. All right, NVDL. So Nvidia is not one that I want to trade but it could easily bust out here in the final, as the market's pushing higher, and it's more of a sidelines play. It looks like we just are breaking out. But until we take this out on 2, we're just about to. So we'll know tomorrow. I think Monday. I mean, Monday's market's closed, but like Tuesday, I think you'll know Tuesday. To me, I think it's safe to say that this low's in now. So we're gonna have to update the chart. I have to update the chart, guys. That low's in. I think that low's in. So now that we know that, we could maybe try to get more bullish if there's an opportunity presents itself. If we get a bigger pullback back down here, if the market wants to do that against this low. So I think that's kind of what I'm seeing here. Something like that. So this box is irrelevant for this, what we're about to push up in. That was more relevant back here. Okay, so here's our 5. So we're entering wave 5. It looks like we're entering wave 5 of the grand super cycle, but as you know, divergence can be erased. Divergence can be erased, and man, this cycle goes way back. So this is got a lot of divergence. It's got a lot of work to do, but I believe that's what we're seeing. Does it have earnings coming up Wednesday? Interesting. I don't know if I want to be short in earnings, guys. Looking at this chart, if you're short in the earnings, you may not like the outcome. Good luck. Good luck on it. So NVDL, let's look at that. So we have to call that done here. And we're extending. So we had the 3, a 3, a 3, so we'll get another 3. So we're probably still in 2, but in a big, crazy connector wave. Big, crazy connector wave. You know, I'm just moving that out of the way because I got to put it somewhere. It doesn't mean that's what's going to happen. Someone asked me, does that mean that it's going to go up to like? To me, I'm just got to get. I got to just make room on the chart. It doesn't mean that's what's going to happen. So it'd be 97.37. This area. $105.10. Somewhere around there. Something like that. All right, good luck on it. I think that's what's gonna have, something like that. But you see this 5 waves up? That tells you we should get another 5 waves up. We should get another 5 waves up. So I'm showing you like a more like conservative bearish view that's more aligned with my market, but I could make this really bullish. I could say it's a 1-2, 1-2, and then it's a 3 up 3, and it just goes crazy. So you see, so either way, I would stay long off of $43. If you can get a dip back down in 2, or you can get a bigger pullback, we can look for long positions again against 43. And I think it's safe to say that that's where we're heading. Okay, Timothy. Let's go to Timothy, and I'll get to everybody's Bud. Budweiser, looking for a double correction potentially down here. It's a 33, but see, if you look, you only have 3 waves up. You don't really have that 5th wave here. Very erratic action in a connector wave that could, you know, still whipsaw you around. Again, I still like this to end soon. This could become a, it's possible it could become a flat in, make one more low. It could still be in a connector in 2. There's just too many possibilities to contemplate with Elliott wave, because it could do this, it could do that, it could come down, it could do that. I could put the B there, and we could come back down. Actually, that'd be a WXY. So I could do so many. So I don't really want to label it. I just want to react. If it comes back down here, because it's a big connector, I'll look to buy it. I'll look to buy it down there if it does that. But if it doesn't, I need more confirmation. The low's in, and we can update the labeling on the chart. NTR. Let's see here, NTR. Looks like we got this kind of action. Some kind of, again, whipsawing around. So I would expect more upside. And this is kind of the sector that I think is going to run when the indices really do pull back. So when the indices top out and pull back, whether you believe it's a crash or a 4 or whatever you believe, I don't think everything's going to be in a bear market. There'll be some things that won't be. And I bet the things that haven't really been in wave 3s, you know, Albemarle and that type of stuff will probably be good performers. Maybe we'll actually get the consumer staples to run more. And this may be one of them too. but this is kind of what I'm looking for, something like this. So I think it should just continue to grind higher off of this low at 43. It looks like it's done this first impulse off the low, and when you look at this, you got like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, there's your 5. So your 5 is right here, right there. So this is 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5. So, and then you had 3, and now you're kind of, could have the 2 be done? Could it take another dip? So I'll give a setup. If it could dip back down, $47, 26, $46, 11. This would be your area, somewhere around there. If it does it, I'm not saying it's going to do that. If not, it'll just keep pushing higher as it finishes out. SE. We had the buy here. We had a tighter box, but that was the buy. And then we had the wave 3 action. Looks like that finished up somewhere over here. And now we're pushing up in 5. Although we're about to take divergence out. Could become another 1, 2. A lot of people, again, FOMOing in on this one. Don't be surprised if it extends. Don't be surprised, if it continues to extend higher. My guess is it's gonna take this. My guess is that's gonna become another 1, 2. Right here. But it looks like the first impulse off the low. Yeah, we've been watching this one for a while. We did have the buy here at 60. And if you're the one that bought it, you should just hold it. And you look like a genius, right? Buying it. Because I bet no one's long this stock. Okay, Unity is another one we see on and off. Has been kind of playing games with us. We had the buy here. We got the reaction off that buy, but now it's like 3 waves. My guess is it's going to do something like this. Now it could also be a 1, 2, 1, 2 setup, but let's So you got 5 here, 3. Let's get rid of some of the labels. Let's just study it a little bit better. So you know, it's really, I have it labeled as a 5 here, like an A, B, C, and this is a pretty deep pullback. So you're either going to get something like this, right? And then that. Like it's kind of like the Roku chart almost, looks almost like the Roku. Or it's corrective, and it's going to go into it's going to be a go to 0 play. It's either corrective and then it's going to go to 0. It'll go to 0. We just don't know. I mean that's the reason why I wouldn't recommend messing around with it. So you'll have to decide which one you believe in. Which are you believe, do you have the conviction or not to hold through this? See, that's low. So I don't know if you're gonna you have to decide, do you have the conviction to hold through this or not? It's hard, and I don't know enough about the company. I mean, there's a possibility it could be a 1, 2, 1, 2 as well. So I guess as long as you're above maybe 1955, it's okay because you broke the cycle and you erased divergence. So that's your trade-in pivot right there, and you want to stay long. Above that, above this level is long. Good luck on that. Thanks for the super chat. Again, I go to my members and then I'll go to all the super chats, so non-members. And if you want to join, just hit join on my YouTube. But I will get to everybody's. ARM. ARM is one that we are watching. We are watching that one for sure. This we have a buy potentially here at 134, 130. Wow, that's a bullish setup, man, right? It's like a perma bull setup, maybe too bullish. So we do have a higher high here. Okay. Now, there is a possibility that this is 3 and as you get a bigger correction to retest this low. But I like to try to play the trend line and try to play the bullish breakout. And if I could pick it up and just buy it at 133 with a stop loss at 121, to me, the reward is worth the risk. And then if you get stopped out, then it's like, okay, we'll just pick it up later. So I'm going with this count. Again, it's very bullish, but you'll have to decide if you believe in this view or not. I believe it's you see the peak is here. So it's probably like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's why I wouldn't be surprised because you'll race the whole wave 5 here. I mean, like I said, it's not like perfect chart, but it's just the idea I have. But if this is the idea, then there could be incredible upside in the future when we come out of this, when we come out of that. But again, you do have to be aware. It could be in a bigger correction, though. We could be in a bigger correction, so we can't get too permeable about it. There's the original wave 4. We never touched that. So if you do want to try to take a piece of it here, if it comes here, just know that, you know, it could get ugly. And if this could morph into the more conventional structure. So it's a very risky setup, but ultimately, whatever happens here, I think in the future it'll be okay. Okay, so then the next super chat on the miss. Yeah, so here's the thing. Yeah, Nvidia, you know, the Nvidia now is turned higher. And I've cautioned people about that. That, you know, that's why it's nothing's guaranteed in this market. That's why I never chase direction. I react to what the market gives me and not try to guess where it's going to go. You know, for example, SPY had a little bit of like a top-in pattern look the other day, and I saw a trader on the internet's like, I'm shorting right here because I think it's going to break down and break the head and shoulders that they saw. And they had a good point. Well, guess what? We all know it didn't do that. It went higher. And then they posted they lost about, I think they said like $8,000 or $9,000 loss. It's sad, right? Because they guessed where it was going to go, and it didn't go that way. A lot of traders do that. They try to play earnings. Well, I'm going to play long because I think earnings is going to go up. We don't guess. We react to the news. We react to the situation. We don't guess what the situation. So yes, it had an opportunity to go to 80, and believe me, we would have bought it there. We would have bought it there. But here wasn't a good risk reward, because what if we bought it here and went to 80? We would have looked like idiots. But now that we have the confirmation of the breakout that I showed, now we have more confidence it's going to go higher. So we could be more aggressive buying it. But yeah, I mean, I don't think it's going to the 80s, but eventually we'll get there probably when this 5 ends. When the grand super cycle in Nvidia ends, even if it extends, let's say it goes into another 1-2. What if this is another 1-2 and it just goes completely vertical parabolic? Eventually, I think at some point in the future, it will be back at the wave 4 cluster, and this is where it's gonna finish. It is going to eventually come back here. But you're going to have, if you really are a patient investor, you're going to have to wait a while maybe to get there. Or maybe you won't. Maybe we'll make a 5 just like that, and it'll just essentially crash back down in the grand super cycle just like that, and you can pick it up again. So I can't say, is it going to ever go to 80? It probably will be an 80, but it's just not going to go probably when you thought it was going to go, because the market's unpredictable. And like I said, we don't guess where it's going to go. So like as we were pulling back, 80 looked like the right place, but it didn't mean to go short it. It doesn't mean like we're going to just short it, and because that's what we feel. We don't trade like that. I know there's a lot of people that you follow out there, guys, that you watch that trade like that. They trade based on how they feel, the momentum. They look at a pattern, and the pattern should do this. We actually wait for the news. We react to the issue. We don't guess. We don't guess that this thing's going to happen and then, oh, it didn't happen or happen. We don't trade like that. So just so you know. So now that we have this, do we just go buy it here? Because this is no. So what we're going to do is buy a pullback, wait for the pullback, then we'll buy it, and then we'll have a stop, and then we'll play it. We'll play for the upside that way. Okay, that's how we'll play that if it goes. But we're just not going to buy it and hope it just keeps going higher because it could pull back. But the odds are now it's going to get a 3. You're going to go higher, and it's gonna break the corrective cycle, which is already done. It looks like. Okay. But yeah, it will go lower. This is going to end. So what do you think is going to happen to NVDL? It's going to get annihilated. NVDL, when this ends, NVDL is going to get annihilated. When that happens, goodbye NVDL, and NVDL will make a new low. But that's what's going to happen. Yeah, the future. So this is the future I predict now, something like this. So let me draw it out. I'll draw it out a little bit better so you guys can see it. Maybe something like this. Something like that. Something like that, and then a pullback. Something like that. That's probably where we're heading. Something like that. That's the journey I think we'll go on. That's unless it extends, and you can't predict that extension. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder, out. That's what probably will happen. All right, good luck on that. Sorry it didn't work out the way you hoped. That's why I didn't recommend any trade in Nvidia, guys. That's why I wasn't recommending anything here. Okay, oh, ARM pumped on earnings. I didn't know that. If it did, then it's moving already in 3. I don't have I don't know if it did or not. Oh, I skipped you, Shane. Let me go back. Yeah, it's like hard for me to keep up. And it's, I guess, sorry about that. I'll get to everybody. Microsoft. All right, with Nvidia breaking higher and the triple Qs breaking higher, we have to think Microsoft maybe trying to make its move. All right, let's find it here. If I can find it. So I said Microsoft had 2 possibilities. This is the best situation for investors. This final push lower, down to 380, 360, and a big 1-2 pattern. 1-2. That's an ideal situation, but it could be different, right? It can be different. As you can see, we probably reset that whole cycle right there. Reset the whole cycle. So I thought it was too quick, but I could put the 2 there. And then I could play games with my labeling and talk myself into, maybe an impulse, right? And I could do something like this and just talk myself into being long, right? And does that. That's possible. If that's the case, the buy is right about now. Right about now. And if Nvidia is starting to break out, that'd be 403, something like that. So that's another possibility. So you have this setup, or you have the other one. Or you could buy some here and then buy some more here. I mean, it's not a big difference in price, really. But you can decide. You can decide. So you'll decide. But yeah, I don't know. With the Qs breaking out and all that, I mean, with Nvidia breaking out, tough to say. You know, if I bought it here, I would be expecting to have a loss. Like again, it could be either was 50-50. You know, so you just place your it's either one of those for Microsoft, man. Okay, Thomas MOWI. Pushing higher in this Y wave, almost in an area where we have, I think we have our market needs to make a decision arrow. Uh, so we'll have to see if it's going to become a flat or we're going to continue to push. We just don't know. But I think it looks like we're picking the next swing higher, right? I mean, that's what it looks like to me. Now, you could still be in two, possibly, but more than likely, you're starting to push higher. If it's Y, you'll finish on 3. You won't get the 4 and 5, and it'll just reject. If you get the 4 and 5, then you have like a 1, 2, 3, 4. Then it's going to start grinding higher. So I think with this one, if you're long, you're just going to, I would just hold it. I mean, there's no reason to sell it. Everything's playing out like we thought. I'm just showing you an area of danger that you should be hyper aware about and watch the wave structure. So maybe when we're up here is the time to really take another closer look at it and see if there's any clues. Like Trade Desk gave us a clue, and we saw that it was going to take this journey and not this journey. So, but we got to get there first. So I think you got to just get there. Okay, let me make sure I got all my members, and then I'll get into the non-members. Oh, T-Doc. Yeah, I'm going back to everybody. Don't worry, non-members, I'll get to you guys now. I just want to go back to the top and make sure I get all the non-members starting from the beginning. I got Ryan's. I got another 5, please. Siltronic AG on Extera. If it comes up, sometimes these don't come up, and I may need you to get the symbol on TradingView, but I'll do my best to find it. I guess this is it. I guess that's it. So probably not enough chart data here to really properly do it on the monthly. Let's look at the weekly. That looks like 5 off that low. So it's probably something like this. That looks like an A. 1, 2, 3, 4, A, B, C, 1, 2, something like that. C. Maybe one more low. Again, I could be off by a swing. Very difficult. You're at the wave 4 low. The only thing is you didn't take this divergence out. You did on the monthly. So I could also, yeah, I don't think it's a flat correction. So I think it could bottom at any moment. I think it could bottom at any moment. And you see right there, it got that wick. You got that wick. So it may have already bottomed. So we don't have enough reaction higher yet. And the weekly didn't erase divergence, but the monthly did. So I think don't be surprised if it makes one more low. But this is an area that you need to kind of start. If you have the conviction to buy it, you got to start buying it here. You may have already missed the dip right there. It may already be too late. But I think it's almost finished. This cycle, this corrective cycle. It, like I said, could go a little lower, and then it comes out. You know, comes out. All right. What does these guys do? Some kind of semiconductor. All right. How much upside? Well, the upside depends on your time frame. If your time frame is a long-term investor, I mean, you know, you could see how this wave 3 extended from the wave 1 peak, you know, well into almost to the 7236, you know, maybe somewhere around there. So I mean the same type of gains, if that's the low, I mean that puts you up to like 640. So that's a big move over many years of upside. So that's because look at the personality of the wave 3. So that's the potential gains. But I'm sure you got to hold many years to get all those gains. Okay, Joel, KURL. Let's take a look. Did I get that right? KULR, sorry. So this is kind of the area, you know, it kind of broke through. And then it double corrected down again. Held that low. But like we saw with Soundhound and Serve, these are the ones that you could get annihilated in. So you gotta be really good with your money management if you're trying to play this one. I wouldn't recommend it because I just don't like these charts, but this has gotta be it. I mean, it's kind of like do or die. It looks just, so this chart looks just like Soundhound, but as you know, Soundhound dropped and broke down, which it opened up this being a connector. And if that's a connector, this will go all the way back, full round trip. So there's no reason to think it will do that other than the market, you know, breaking a pivot. Now, you break that 180, that's it. It's over. So you got to keep an eye on it. You got to keep an eye on this one. But that's the setup, and you just have to, you have to stick your neck out and buy it. We did break through the support levels here. So you got to just be careful, but I think you'll have to decide what's best for you. My guess is let's look a little bit closer at some of the RSIs on the weekly. See, we never reset the cycle, but yet we're at the cycle peak. So it wouldn't surprise me if it flushes down another one. It wouldn't surprise me if it does that. That's why I don't recommend this to my followers or members, because we just don't know, and we just can't go gamble it. But that's my thoughts. So my thoughts are, if you buy it, you need to be ready for a day where it's down 20% in one day, and if you can't take that pain, you have too much money in it. But if it can come back and take out 267, it's gonna go. It's gonna go. So maybe the better way is to wait on the sidelines. I'll let the market decide for you. Just wait. wait, because you catch it here on a pullback versus guessing it. But if you bought it here, you'll be stopping out there. So that's why I don't have it here, because I just don't see any setup here. Okay, I'm scrolling through super chats. T-Doc, Trade-Doc, Teledoc. Teledoc was one I gave to everybody that followed me on Twitter before I started my membership service, and a lot of people have benefited from that. A lot of people have benefited from it. It could have been a major low, and I did have the wave 5, but now that wave 5 may be in. So we don't know what's going to happen from here. So if it's a wave 5 here, we could get this 3. We did take that out, so I will label that 3. You could get something like this. I think it's trying to target 18, 19, and then you have a much bigger pullback, possibly, because we are seeing these things go vertical, like some of these things go vertical. So I think this is the kind of classical view chart. But if you bought it where I was mentioning to buy it, you should just hold. And you may actually have a long-term hold position on something you may not sell for a very long time. So maybe there's a possible entry here. Maybe. If that's a little shallow connector at 1352, 1329. To try to play that wave 4, try to play that little bounce there. Just be advised that the bounce could fail, because it's a higher degree wave 4. There's always a possibility it comes in, it bounces and fails again. So just be careful of that. But I think this one you just kind of sit tight and enjoy the ride. Taking this high out was huge. It negated the bigger corrective structure. Right, it could have been a big 3-wave move, and now we got the 5th wave on. So more than likely, it's not that anymore. Could it be a big flat maybe in this cycle? Nah, I don't think so. Good luck on Teledoc. Hopefully you got in on that one. UNG, Fartcoin. No, no one's asked me about that. I don't even know if there's a chart on TradingView for it. Maybe there probably is, given its market cap. UNG, again, I don't really focus a lot on natural gas because it's very erratic, and I don't think my system works well. Charted natural gas, to be honest with you, frank with you, I don't think it works that well, and I'm not sure the reasons why, but I will do it for you. But just understand that. And then you can use my analysis however you feel like it. But if you come off this low, we have 5, and then you had 5 down, and then you had up, and then you had 3. So this is probably a big connector, and we've held that low with divergent. So my guess is this is a big connector. There's 2 things we know. Oil should be going a lot lower soon, eventually. And when it does, natural gas should follow suit. Right? Should follow, whatever. So could be there. So because of that, UNG will follow suit. So I still think there's a whole nother leg lower like this. Could I put it there? Could I put it there? Tough to, Now, off this low, it's got to be an impulse. I don't see it. So I probably see more upside a little bit here. With some divergence. Now, if you race divergence, it should continue to extend. So maybe UNG should continue higher, but I do think at some point this year, or maybe early next year, you've got this kind of move, because I still have oil, heading down to 52.48, and it may even go as low as 32. I mean, holy shit, 32, you must be crazy. But hey, go buy your big SUVs again. So I think this is which is also why I don't like the green, the EV sector and all that, because typically that's bad because people don't buy EVs when oil's cheap. When gasoline's cheap, whether it's a recession or not, they don't buy EVs, guys. Just keep that in mind. Now, if oil can break out and be in a bigger connector, then yeah, natural gas probably will pump with it, right? It usually does. So that's why it's tough to say. So let's go to the UNG one specifically and see what that one looks like. So UNG, yeah, we got to relabel that thing. I must have been just playing around one day. See, I don't even have it labeled because I don't trade it. I just don't trade natural gas. I stay away from things that I just don't work for me. And obviously, doesn't seem to be like a good thing to invest in, right? I mean, look at this. Doesn't seem like something I'd want to put my money in unless I'm trading. So you've got again, you got this 5 off this low here. See, that's the thing. You got 5 off this low. That's why I think that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, let me look at this again. Yeah, I think this is crazy. This is why I don't particularly like to play with this one. Yeah, I'm just kind of playing around here to see if I can figure it out. Yeah, maybe the better way to play that is here, like that. This is connector down. So you have to put it there, but then that doesn't really work. Or maybe you could put the 3 there for the 3 and dot B, something like that. And then this part of the cycle being 5, something like that. Again, see I'm just trying to see this see if this structure pops out to me or not. I'm just trying to see if it pops out or not. And if it doesn't, as I said, I'm just trying to do the best I can to try to label this for you 2, 3. One, two, three, 1, 2, 3, and then Y. And that makes sense to me because like why? Because if you go back to my oil chart, oh yeah, oh shit, is right. I guarantee you when this happens, we're going to be in the thick of the bear market in the indices at some point here. So that that's it. So I think you got some erratic action in natural gas before you get to this like little pump area, this commodity like push that will probably really hurt the indices when it happens. But I think right now it's going to be kind of erratic and maybe deflationary in some ways, as this you know, you got this kind of pump, little mini crash, bottom, moon, and then the cycle's over. This cycle's all over, and then it goes back into the abyss like you've seen in the other paths. So I think that's what I'm looking at. I mean, at the end, I'm just looking at it. It's tough to do natural gas. I don't trade it, so I don't trade things that don't work for me. So I just don't trade it. But I try my best to give you a look. All right, Alex, MVIS. Looks like you have an A, a connector, and B, and a 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 more low. But I mean, it really can bottom at any moment. See, right in that area. Just going to have to be really patient and let this play out a little bit more. It needs a little more time to play out. But it's very close. It could be done already. So just any second now. You see how it's kind of reacting already? So just a little bit, just a little longer is what I'm thinking. You know, I was looking at this peak. I don't like that peak there. So there's a chance it could be a flat. If it's a flat, it'll turn into it could come back down to just around the dollar. I'll just draw this here. So but either way, I would expect it comes out of this pattern. So just yeah, I think this is what I think it is, but you can't rule out a flat where this is A, B, C, only because when I looked at that RSI on the 15-minute, I don't like. I wish there was some divergence, and we just don't see that there. So you just got to you should be careful putting your whole stack of chips in that area with the understanding that it could take a little, it could dive deeper before you get the bigger move. So anyway, thanks again, MVIS. All right, I'm just kind of going through things and see. Tina, thanks for the big super chat. Did I get MO? Yeah, I got MOIW. Yeah, Tina, LEU. LEU. Let's look at that one. Citrus Energy, it's an energy play. All right, so we had this push higher. Push higher finally happened. Let's take a look what's going on here. So probably have to change that up a little bit. Something like that. So it pretty much ended here. Very erratic correction. But we knew eventually it was going to come out of that. Right? So it could be this. It's probably not likely this, where it comes back down and out. It's probably more likely in the more bullish count. And that can even be another one too. So tough to say, but obviously you want to stay long. Now there could be a safer entry here if the market gives it to us. That it is broken out. And that'd be 107, 105 in this area. Something like that. And it could even be another one too. So good luck on that. Then Roku, I think somebody asked me about Roku last weekend or something, and it worked out for them because we predicted the push higher. We got that. Now what happens to Roku? Let's see. Let's see. We got this fifth wave. It looks like we need one more high in this fifth wave, right? Looks like you're something like that. Now you did erase divergence all throughout. Let's see, bigger picture. Where are we? So we do need to take, so actually we would expect that to happen with this B wave. So we do, yeah, so the shorter time frames we want to see some divergence. And if we don't, that is interesting. So then that means it's the impulse is extended. Let's look at the 15-minute. Yeah, so it's definitely extending. So you know, very, very bullish, right? Very bullish push out. So that's got to finish up. So definitely more upside. Now, we haven't broke that high yet. That's needs to happen. It probably is going to happen. So that gets us to 123, 130, somewhere in this area. So I think it could have another big drop coming, but I don't want to bet on. I don't want to sell it. I don't want to be a seller here. I'm just showing you only because I see 5 down. But I could change the label to make it work, force it, but it would be kind of violating my own rules. And guys, by the way, we were calling the buy down here on the wave 4 low. We were calling it. If you follow me, you were calling this area. So if you happen to buy it there, you should not even be thinking of selling it. Okay? Because I'm showing this idea, but obviously it's bullish. Look, you're in wave 3 mode. So I think we just got to wait and see. And if it could break 150, then the bottom's in and it's gone. So I think it's just clearly bullish. And so if we can get a bigger pullback, we'll want to buy it. Another pullback. So let's say it wants to take another dip down and fill that gap or something. That's an opportunity to get long if you missed the move, I think. If it wants to fill that gap. That'd be 91, 89, 86, right there. So, and then we would change. I would change the count. I would change up the count a little bit. Probably put the 5 there, put the 1 there. So like I said, I could play around with the count, but the ultimate direction was higher. Maybe this is probably a better way to label it anyway. Something like this. We'll label like this, and again, this could become a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It could be a 1, 2, 1, 2. So we'll just leave it like that for now. And you'll have to decide, but I think that's the opportunity to go long it right there. And then we should get more extension with the divergence erasing on the shorter time frames. Okay, and then when the indices end its big cycle, this will probably happen. And then probably the real low shows up, or it double bottoms, or again some elaborate, corrective structure. But it has broken out, and like I said, if it could be too bare, we could put the 2 there. But I think it's clear, and this is what I told people last week, is it should go higher. It looked like had all the look of going higher, and that's what happened. All right, ACMR. Got this 2 here. Still got 3 and 3, and looks like an impulse, trying to impulse out. So could still be in 2. Could be 1, 2. So many possibilities. I don't think it's that with 3 waves down and 3 waves up. So W, some kind of X. Probably do something like that. Here you see you'll have that 3 waves coming off that low. So it should push higher. It should push up into this area, and then I think it's at risk of a reversal down. You have 3 and 3, and now you impulse out. You've done your first cycle probably right here, or probably more like a 1, 2, 1, 2 here. It may not go as high unless it can erase some divergence, so something like that. Something like that. Is what I'm thinking. But clearly I would stay long, play the upside. This could still drive even higher. But I think it could pull back because of the lower low. But we just have to be careful with it. So just be careful with it. But I wouldn't like try to top tick it. I would just keep on the upside, and perhaps we could take out this peak, and then we could just put the low here, and then it's off. But as you can see, it's going to go higher in the future, I think. All right, thanks, Tina. So the trades on Elite, I put them at the end of the videos. People are like, oh, just email me the list or whatever, and I don't want to do that. I thought about doing that. The reason why I don't want to do it is the context in the video is very important to understand, because some of my members will just literally blindly put in the trade data and then say, oh, I lost all my money, it's your fault. But you have to listen to what I'm saying about the trades, about you know, because it's a dynamic thing. The market is dynamic. Some trades could be negated like 5 minutes after I post a thing, if I post it during market hours. So like you got to understand what I'm saying. So you have to watch the video, or I'm making it a disservice. So I'm making people, you got to watch. Now, if you want to go all the way to the end of the video, fine, and get the trades. I don't care. That's up to you. But I at least want to make people watch what I got to say about them, because if you're just blindly putting in the data, you're gonna lose. You have to understand that that's not what the system is. It's not like, you know, I can be there, you know, every minute of the every freaking second of the day, like, oh no, trade this, buy this, oh my god, the market pumped, that's negated. Like, these are trade ideas. You have to know my system. You have to know the context around it, when it's invalid. You have to listen to what I say. So I do put them at the end of the videos, and I flash it at the end, and you guys can do what you want to do with them. And I also show the boxes in my charts like I do here, so you can look at the box yourself and decide. But I'm not going to just post a list, because unfortunately I've got people that that will just type that into E-Trade, and then they'll say, "Oh, I lost all my money, and it's your fault. You're an idiot. Your service, and I want to sue you." That what will happen. So I have to be careful, and there is no it's not that kind of service. It's a trade ideas I post, and you have to listen to what I have to say to really understand it. So, okay. I'm just kind of going through. Don't worry, I'll get to everybody's comments. I just want to read everybody's. So Stacy Racy, thank you for the big super chat. I'll go to yours. If you already explained, but can you explain if your charts will be in Trade and View Us to view? I only do my videos on YouTube. I don't share. I don't know how that works and stuff. And so I rather just do one system. I want to just handle like one communication platform and not multiple ones. I can't keep up with it all. But I'll go into your symbols. MDB. This was the buy area. It's turning out. Again, very risky buy. It's a very sound town looking chart, right? But it could have high reward. 1 2 1 2 1 2. So there it is. So you want that 228 to hold. That's the idea of when's earnings. I bet that's the decider. March 5th. Well, no, March 5th. If this is right, or it's a massive meltdown. So good luck. I mean, this chart is like playing out exactly like we expected. I think you asked me back here, and I said, "Oh, I'll probably come down here." I think I said about 258. It went a little deeper, but it is starting to recover. It is starting to recover. That's good. But that looks like a finishing of an impulse up. So I would be really careful for another pullback is coming. And then something like that. Nike, I've been telling people that follow me to stay away from Nike for a while. Let's see what's going on with Nike. I'm still looking for Nike at $40, $36. It's still just kind of grinding lower erratically. Uh, People are very angry trading it because they think it should bounce, but just because it should doesn't mean it will. I think it's just continuing to grind lower. And this would be the first big W. So it's definitely got a lot of erratic action. So when this comes, it's going to trap a lot of buyers again. So maybe it's got another swing down. Does something like that. I think I got it right. So good luck on it. Let's see, that's 58. So maybe $60 is the pivot area for a counter trend rally, like high likelihood of one. If you're just can't help yourself and want to buy it, maybe this $60 low 60s would be the counter trend rally area, and then another low. I'm thinking. You see that this has to drop and take that out and take that out. All right, good luck on Nike. Lululemon, we're keeping an eye on that. We do have a low in Lululemon that's we're building off of, and so if we can get a nice pullback, so we did call that fifth wave on my channel here, and now we're pulling back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think that's how we labeled it. 1, 2, yeah, like 3, 4, 5. See, it's like real tight. Again, I don't want to force it, but anyway, I think this is the count. So I think it needs more time to play out, but I do want to buy this at some point. I'm hoping to buy this to play wave 3 grand supercycle, but I think I want to see a connector, and I want to see it do something like this, and then I could project a target. Could it be a crash correction? And it can. So we don't have a good setup, but I think longer term it's just going to come out of this pattern. Dollar Tree, really like Dollar Tree. But again, you'll have to do what's best for you. If you're following Dollar Tree is trying to build out of a low here, perhaps a grand super cycle low. As you can see, beautiful impulse up, nice 3 waves down, and we have a clear connector and a nice target area being hit right at the wave 4. It meets all the criteria. It looks almost too good to be true. And you barely have a 5th wave here. Again, you have to talk yourself into it, but it did break the high here, so you still got like a 1, 2, something like that you're working with. You got something like that. I'm sorry, my bad. This way. This 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that, and then you got this pullback. So could it do this? It's possible. And then it hit 64, 62. Again, 60. I like to definitely buy it here, but it could also already be finished its correction and ready to hit a wave 3. It could be this. So you have to decide. But it looks like a pretty good setup. Looks like a pretty good setup. And by the way, guys, my elite members, we got this set up. You're aware. They're aware of this. So you just, so we're aware of this one. And I know you're a member. Thanks for being a member. But the non-members, I give these setups to I give these setups. This is you would have had. So if you're not following, see, no one can follow all these stocks I'm following. And we try to get the wave 3s before they're wave 3s, right? Right? Let's say this hits a year from now, 2 years from now, we'll look back. Dollar Tree will probably be at 140, 150. Then all of a sudden, you'll see it on TV. Everyone's going to be buying it, and then all the traders you guys follow, got 100,000 followers. All these traders, they'll be like, "Oh, buy it! It's a breakout! It's a breakout!" Well, you're gonna be like, "Shit, we got it down here," and you know what? Guess who's buying it from you? It's those guys buying it from you. But actually, we'll enjoy the wave 3, and then we'll dump it up here. So these are long-term holds. These buys here are long-term holds. They're not quick pumps, right? Quick pumps come, but this is a long-term investment. Can the company go bank? Can Dollar Tree go bankrupt? Absolutely. Can it go to 0? Sure. Can it go lower? It could. So I'm not saying like it's crazy bullish, but it's a good opportunity. It looks like a good chance to take the chance here. Now, if it does want to push lower, it can, but I still think it's going to find the bottom here in this area. Maybe it's found it already. Maybe it goes a little lower. So I've got to be smart too about my money management and how I want to accumulate this for the long, bigger picture. Okay. I mean, it survived a lot to say it's going to go to zero. So I think whatever happens here, it's going to survive and be okay. All right. Thanks for the super chat. Okay. Starbag SE on Extera. Let's look at that. Strawbag on Extera. I think this is it. Really interesting chart. A lot of divergence. That's probably your wave 3. So you got a massive extended fifth wave. So that's very dangerous. Okay, that's a very dangerous situation to be in as a trader, to be in an extended fifth wave. Because normally when the correction happens, you'll lose the whole fifth wave. So now the good thing is you're in 3 of 5. So I think it's still got more upside to go. It's got more upside. It's just unless it could take this peak out here. You take this peak out, then it's gonna go even more. It's just gonna keep pumping. So, yeah. So I don't know where you got in on it, but it looks like to me something like that, and then a big sell-off, whenever it happens. Martin, Litecoin's been acting kind of bullish because it's kind of like in a situation where it's either gonna have to go into the 4 digits, or it's going to zero type. It's kind of like at a critical moment technically for it. I always felt you need a bigger shakeout of the whales. I believe the Litecoin holders, they brag way too much about all the shit they're buying, and they're on the internet, and I think the Litecoin whales that bought this stuff back, when it was like $3, way back then, they're the ones keeping it from pumping because they're liquidate. You're funding their Lambos. You're buying their Lambos. But at some point, I guess they'll get tired of selling their stack, and the coin will run. And this is kind of the count. So the count here, we had the buy here on Litecoin, and I gave this on one of my videos. I said if it was going to take the bigger double correction, 1 2 1 2, and it did, we'd want to buy it at $80. It hit 80.47, close enough. Then it came up, and we gave another buy area here, just short of it, and it came up in 3, and now it's in 5. So what happens after 5 waves? It comes back down. So you know the deal. So it looks like you're going to have a correction, another one, another pullback. But it's very bullish compared to all the other altcoins I've been looking at off this low, off of this dump here. Most are still trading down here. They never even got the impulse. So you should definitely look to pick this up if it could come back to 1010, 108, I think. Let's look at but before we get too excited, let's just look at a bigger picture. Could it be a big flat, like a CBA, like an ABC, like a big connector? Nah, not with that. Not taking that peak out. So it's still good. So we're still good. So I think this is the count. So I think, though, it looks like it wants to top and get a pullback. That's what it looks like. Thanks for the super chat. How high can it go? Because of the way it was pumping, it's hard to predict it. But I'll give a stab at it. When stocks go parabolic, It's almost impossible. You have to look at the market cap and compare the market cap to similar, you know, I think you want it Starbag, yeah, Starbag. I mean, it's not, it's tough to say. I mean, if it tops out here, it could go to 60. But if it keeps extend, there's nothing that says it can just keep extending. It could keep going higher. So I don't know. It could just keep going higher. That's why we never try to predict the top. And that's why if you're trading, you either got to take profit where it makes sense for you. Maybe you need the money for something you need to buy or fund in your life. Maybe you need the money to rotate into a better opportunity. As this one's exhausted, maybe something better comes along and you need the money. Or maybe you met your goals and you're just going to get out. But that's where you got to do what's best for you. So I think it could, I think though the way it tops out is you need a 4 and a 5 with bearish divergences here, and you don't really have that. So I think it's got, a little bit of a top in pattern to go. You get, a little top in pattern, and then you'll have a little, hopefully a window into when it's over, but clearly people want it. Yeah, RX worked out, guys. You watch my live streams. That was a freebie for anybody. And then if you follow me on Twitter, all right, CCU. Let's take a look here. So we double corrected, but we broke that low. That's not good. So that's not good, but it does mean we're probably in a much longer correction now as this plays out. Well, actually, let's look at the divergence. Yeah. Yeah, it's in a erratic kind of pattern here. Definitely not something I want to trade, but probably something like that. So I would look for more upside. It looks like a 1-2-1-2 with a 3 breakout, but I would be looking careful of a rug pull. But ultimately we should resolve higher. So very erratic area. Too many ways to label it using Elliott wave theory. Frey move into wave 4. Let's see. Looks like we almost caught that one. Look at that. We were close. A couple pennies off, but close enough. So do you see how it overlaps too much? The divergence erased. So this is still like a wave 2. So not a wave 4 yet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 1, 2. Let's see. How did it? Yeah, see, it's a flat, some kind of flat here. Uh, for the, it's some kind of flat. And now, so I think as long as it's above 157, you could get that wave 3 now. Looks like a flat to me. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 3, 4, 5, and that's it. So I think so it's got to hold that low right there at 161 and hopefully build out of that. But I wouldn't call it a 4. It looks like a flat to me. All right, Anonymous again. Thanks again for the super chat, Novax. I'm trying to finish this Y wave. Sentiment's kind of bearish in healthcare overall, especially around the vaccine stocks. Let's just take a look at this wave one more time. Yeah, see, that's the connector, obviously. I'm willing to bet we're going to fill this gap. I'm willing to bet that. And looking at this, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised again if it does. Again, there's so many ways to label it, but I could do You could just do that. It could also NW here, come back in X, and come down later. But it's still correct. It's in the corrective cycle. It's still, as long as it's below 1159, it's bearish. And you really need to finish this out. And the sad thing is you're going to have to take that peak out. So it's going to have to, it needs some nasty capitulation to finish it. Now, let's see. Now, if it's bullish, if this is the 2, then there's only one other way to label it, I think. You'd have to label it this way. If we get that, then we could get more bullish on it again. I'm still showing this, so we got to take that peak out. Until you take the peak out, I think it's under pressure. As long as it's under pressure, it may come back to retest these lower areas or possibly even break them. And if it does, that's pretty detrimental to the stock. MicroStrategy is in no man's land, right? It's kind of, again, stuck in the abyss. And I told people that I think it's going to just stay in between this channel. And the strategy is to buy here, sell here until it breaks out. But once you break this low, I think you'll be potentially an avalanche of selling down to here. But if you break this high, I think it's going to the races. So I think you're just stuck like Bitcoin. It's just not going to, it's not giving us a clue, although it does look like 5 down, which would mean we're going lower, right? That's what that would typically mean. We want to move down in 3 waves. So maybe we have this, maybe we have something like that. So tough to say. I don't want to label it, trade it, just sit on the sidelines. It's not really something to trade. Now, if I wake up one day and it's down here, yeah, then I got a great opportunity. But right now, it's kind of like I'll just label it. I'll label it like this, and you can decide how you want to play it. I think I wouldn't be surprised if it pushes down but truncates. But that's just my feeling. Okay. ELF. Yeah, I'll take a look at ELF. I know that was getting hit hard. Yeah, see what happened is we finished the whole cycle, got it double corrected on us with a shallow connector. This is again is nothing's guaranteed in this market, man. Like, because I mean, you had a finished correction here, you got a bounce, but then it failed again. Double correct it. Nasty. Yeah, that looks pretty finished to me. Yeah, I agree. I mean, unless it's gonna go unless it's going bankrupt or something. I mean, it looks like a finished correction to me. Let's look at this wave specifically on the shorter time frame. Let's see if we see 5. Oh yeah, it looks like it's finished. There's the 5. Yeah, as long as you're above 63, I think if you want to be an investor in it, that's where you want to start to buy it, I think. You know, something like that. But yeah, that's it. So I may, if it could pull back more, maybe buy against that 62, perhaps. Again, let's get rid of some of this so you can see our chart better. This also shows you once you get a reaction like that, there's no guarantee. It can sometimes fail. That's why it's always good to take some profit, just in case something like that happens. Again, want to see more reaction to really get more comfortable, but it looks, at least this looks finished. I mean, is it going to go down and more, like where this is 1, 2? I mean, I guess it's possible. Do that. That's why I would be careful to make sure you stop there. All right, good luck on that. Thanks for bringing that out. All right. Commodities are ruled by geopolitics, so are real things. We just got to get past the snowstorm, but yeah, CL and NG are inversing with each other the other day. Yeah, I mean, I looked back and I mean I see like when oil really gets going in energy trade, I mean eventually the natural gas follows it. So, all right, Mike H. A lot of cha-chings lately. Yeah, we've done good. Let's look at this kind of a crypto thing, or I'm not sure what this one is, but TAO USD. Yeah, kind of a crypto. Looks like you got five up here. One, two, like three, four, five. And looks like you got three down. Look at that, to the penny. So yeah, very good looking chart. Nice healthy looking chart. Um, like it so far. Don't know what this TAO does or what's the point of it, if it's a meme coin or not or whatever. I don't know what this is, but this could be a couple things. Could be a flat, could be a 1-2-1-2, could be a 1-2-1-2, could be a flat as well. So you'll have to decide which one could do that. But as long as we're above 235, it should be good to go. So you see there's no divergence there. It could even be this. It can do that and then come back down and then come out. So we'll go with this label in for now like I have it here. And then you could decide, but as long as you're above this low, I think that's a major low. It looks like a major low to me. Let's look at the W. The weekly's good. So the daily, you see that? I don't like that look there, but I do like the level it hit. So it's got to hold that. It's got to hold that. If it doesn't, then it risks going much lower in the bullish structure. Well, it could still be bullish because you're coming off of zero. It could come down low, but I think at some point we'll probably take out this high at some point in the future. All right, just kind of looking around comments. Yep, yeah, one day I could, maybe get some helpers, get my son to help me with my channel. All right, let your win or something, I don't know, RXRX and NRG. RXRX is just playing out according to plan. It was a very patient trade that we had to be in and stick with. And now the wave threes are playing out. So we have a 1-2-1-2-1-2 cluster that's played out. And I think 14-15 is the first real level, the test. So I'll be looking for extension. There's really no point of even trying to label this. This pattern here. Clearly we have a breakout. And we're just getting started. So I think if you got long, you're very, very lucky to have a position in this. I wouldn't even think about selling it. Just tuck that away. Just tuck it away. Because we could have on the bigger picture, look, 1, 2, 1. I mean, I already told you guys how I felt about this. We had buys back here. I mean, we had time to buy this. But will it play out? I think it will get resistance here, probably pull back, could pull back again, could even come back in another. So you have to decide if you want to sell something up here or not. But when we do finally break this, it's like $42. I'm serious, guys. So, all right. Good luck on it. Now, it doesn't mean it's just going to happen. Like I said, it could easily come back up and pull and do just like we did here. Just come up and come down. But it's I think at some point it's breaking out. Okay. NRG. All right, it's a new one. Very bullish chart. Yeah, definitely wave 5 there. So we should be peaking in this wave 3. Again, easy money is over for now, looks like. Although we're seeing so many extensions, it's crazy these days, so I got to be careful saying that. So so right here could be done, could push higher. Don't really know. Seems like you want to get a little bit more upside on that 5. So I'll go with this for now, and then a bigger pullback. So we'll go with that for now. But yeah, there's a little bit of divergence, so it's probably a 1. But if I put the 5 there, then this will fail. This will come back if it's in 4. So it's tough to say. But it's coming, to the end of the cycle. You're seeing a lot of bearish divergences here. So you got to be careful. All right, good luck on NG. GME, Bitcoin, UTSD, and INT. Sorry, couldn't do. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, I could care less. All right, GME. So GME is GME. We have to be a little more aggressive given the setup, but there's risk. So don't manage your money properly in it. So GME, we've been charting pretty well off this impulse. We called this impulse exactly right. We called the peak to the T. We called the flat to the T. So I have this pullback in 3 waves here. So I have it a little unorthodox correction. We have this ABC for W, a connector, and then 3 waves down in Y to finish in 2 here. I think the cycle's over personally because if we break this 2, it really does open us up back to retest the $18, $19 area, I think. So I have us labeled as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, something like this, and a bigger pullback. But it also could be a 1, 2, 1, 2 setup. So we just don't know for sure where it is. Get rid of that box. So we had this one. So it could be a 1, 2, 1, 2 setup coming out like that. Could be, like I said, the more conservative view is a 3, 4, 5. So I think the reason I have this box here is I think pretty much it's a big area, but anywhere within, I think right around, I think this area, anywhere in this area is the area you need to start adding. Big area. Could be a left shoulder head, right shoulder, because when it breaks out, it's wave 3 of 3. I mean, so you want to be aggressive. The risk, the reward tells you should be more aggressive here, but you got to understand there's more risk. So that's the GME setup, but we don't have a clear. We don't have like 100%. We're there, but it looks like a wave three was born last week in this or the prior trade, last few days. But I could label that too many different ways to think about. So you'll have to do what's best for you if you really want to chase that. But if it is the wave three, and we're trading 58, 60, or even, I think I had, where was my target, my final target I had on this thing? I don't know if I have the box, but I think we were looking at like 230, 250, maybe even 300. When we're trading $300, you're not going to care whether you got it for 27 or 25 or 29. You're not going to give a shit, right? You're not going to care. So that's why we want to be a little more aggressive. And yeah, if we lose it, okay, fine. We'll come back in later down here then. We won't lose sight of it, and then we'll just come back down here. So I think it's worth the risk, but that's my opinion. You have to decide what you want to do. Bitcoin, I gave that update earlier. I would just say that it's it's kind of stuck looking for the next move. I'm leaning more bearish, and then a breakout after that. There's also some pro traders I follow that kind of feel the same way, where we may dip back down into this area and then run hard, and I believe that's kind of what I'm thinking too. So I'm thinking you got this three waves and something. So either you're going to dip down to 84, 80,000 for an opportunity. But I can't rule out that it's already finished and we're going to pump. So we'll know if we break 110, we'll know. But if you break 91.6, you should get a pretty big dump. So you have to decide. But this to me is kind of a gamble, like a roulette wheel situation. Are you going to bet red or are you going to bet on black? And you want to go to the casino, bet on black, bet on red, go long, go short. But here's the sidelines. Intel, we did that one a little bit earlier too. Intel is in very erratic state. Could be several. Please watch my earlier clip on that. But basically, the chart I'm looking at now is very crazy correction. We have an ABC for a W, a big connector, and then 5 waves down in A with a B connector, and then either you're still in B here where you come back up to 27, 28, 82, fill the gap, and then you get another drop, or B is done and you have a 1, 2, and it's about to finish 3, 4, 5 and finish down at $13, $14. So I think it's like a coin flip again. Are we going to go to the gap and drop, or are we just going to drop? But I don't like buying it unless it comes back down into this $15, $16 area or lower. I'm not really interested in buying it. And if you really look as a chart pattern trader, you have this trend line here, and this is trend line resistance now, right? So if it comes up and back tests this trend line and tries to wick through the gap, it's likely to get rejected on the back test of the breakdown. It's likely. So just again, if you just trade that kind of trade style, and there's a lot of people that do that kind of trading, right? They would actually short it here, and a lot of people will short it here on the back test. So just I don't recommend doing that, but some people will do that. Okay. Yeah, I did IT, but I did it again for him. Yeah, Unify was another long time one. RTX, I don't think so. If you're looking for a fundamental driver, again, I don't use fundamental news. Let me do a little quick Google search. I don't know what's gonna show on my screen, but I think RTX. Trump said he is going into missile defense for the homeland. I think Trump's missile shield. Let's see. Iron Dome. So Trump wants Iron Dome for America's space base. RTX is fully prepared to support our. So I got to show you guys this article. Okay, so I'm just looking at it right here. So I'm gonna let me see if I can do this. Let me see if I can do this here. Again, I'm not pumping the fundamental news, guys. The fundamental news is something that you guys can look at. later. But let me see if I can show this chart real quick without showing too much here. There. RTX is fully prepared to support Trump's Iron Dome plan. Doesn't that sound like a Wave 3 breakout? If they get the money to build that shit. So that's the fundamental case. That's the fundamental case. Okay, so you guys do your own research. I'm just saying that's what I heard, but that's not why I'm buying it. Okay, I'm buying it for the chart, and the chart shows it's still got a major wave 3 potential that hasn't happened yet. That's all I'm saying. That's what the chart says. Okay, that's what the chart says. So, oh, AEHR. Oh my God, I forgot about that symbol. AEHR. Yeah, that one is man, that one really, destroyed traders, man. But if you guys are new to my channel, we called the buy here at 22, and I think we also called the flat. We called a lot of this right, but then it just annihilated traders, and now it's trying to build off of a low here. That's good. Well, it's got to hold 977. See, no divergence. You got to be careful it's not another corrective bounce. And it goes lower. So you got to be careful it's not a 3-wave bounce, because look, this looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see, that looks like 5. So that looks like a connector. So 1, 2, 3, connector, 1, 2, 3, and you broke the low. And then you came back up, so you have a bigger connector. So 3, 3. With a little divergence. I mean, it could be a couple things. It could be this, for sure. Or it could be something, worse, like that. Like that. A little bit lower. Or it could be, the situation that no one wants, where it just goes into the abyss. So I don't like buying it here. It doesn't look like a good structure unless you're trying to buy it against 982. But I just don't like it. I just don't like the setup here. I think there's too many ways to label this, to label it for you. But it does seem like more than likely, I think it'd probably do something like this. You'll get something like that out of it whenever this ends, this 3-wave move ends. And it could be here, but perhaps it needs, another low. So you have to decide how you want to do that. Could still do this, like that. So too many possibilities. I don't want to lose any sleep over it, but I do see I don't see 5 off that low. That's the problem. We have to give it time. Could it turn into a lead-in diagonal? It sure can do this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and then we'll look back and go, oh, we should have bought it, right? And it could do that. So it could easily do that lead-in diagonal, but we need more. We need to see that part of the wave, and we haven't seen that yet. So is it only possible? Let me see. There's always a possible fundamental reason. He blows his company up for some reason, and it trades out of sync with Bitcoin. There's always that chance. I'm not sure what's going on with that. Okay, so there's always that chance. In your question, for it to only peak at 400 this cycle. Uh, I think if Bitcoin breaks out in a wave 3, it's taking out 560, most likely. It's taking that out. It's going to go higher. If Bitcoin has ended its cycle and it's going back to the 30 or 20,000s, if you believe it, then it's probably doing this. And what you said is right. It probably won't ever come back to 400. So I think that's the trade. I think if you believe Bitcoin is going to go to 30,000, something like that, then it's going here. If you believe Bitcoin is going to break the high, then it's going to go here. If you think Bitcoin is staying where it is, it's just going to stay here. So I think that's kind of how I would look at it. But you can't rule out the company-specific news events that are specific just to that company. Maybe he bet the farm on something, and maybe if Bitcoin dips to 68,000, he blows up his company and he goes to zero. I mean, we don't know for sure, right? Maybe he's so levered to Bitcoin, who God knows. I mean, God knows what he's done to his company. Like, we don't know for sure, but that's why I don't recommend any trade in it. It's just not something I would trade. There's so many other things to trade in crypto that benefit from the Bitcoin pump than this right now. Okay, thanks again for the super chat. So I went through all the comments today. I took a little longer than I normally do. Enjoy your weekend. I'll try to put out some videos tomorrow for all my followers. I know the market's closed Monday, so I'm not going to have maybe I have them toward the end of the day. It's just not really that urgent to get them out. But anyway, we had a good week. If you are a member or thinking about it, we got a lot of great setups. It was a great week to start the channel to start the membership drive because the market gave us tons of opportunities, but there's still a lot of opportunities. As the market extends in wave 3, guys, a lot of those opportunities will disappear, and we'll have to be patient and wait for the next move the market makes. And so it ebbs and flows with opportunities. So just using my system. But good luck, guys. Talk to you later. Enjoy.